Just go slow. I'll watch your front bumper. Front end's looking good.
Just like that.
Nice.
If you take this fast, there is a very real possibility of rolling the vehicle.
I think you're
Here
good.
we go, come on Toyota. What you're looking at is the most capable Toyota 4Runner you can buy, the Trailhunter, and what are we doing with it today, Case?
We're taking it on the hardest trail we've put a 4Runner on yet, the Ironclads Loop here in Colorado.
And we're gonna do some scraping, some grinding, and see what this thing is made out of. So we are airing down the 4Runner to 18 PSI, and we got our Thor's Lightning setup, Case.
That's right. We've got all 4 tires hooked up to the one manifold to air them down at the same time, which is pretty sweet.
And in a matter of seconds, we'll be ready to go.
I loved the choice to talk over the wind.
Okay. Well, you know what, Mary? So Case, the trail we're running today is called Ironclads, and usually we do just the beginning portion, but today we are doing the whole loop, which is pretty significantly harder than what we typically do.
Exactly, because most off-roaders are not ready or set up out of the box to be able to do a 7 out of 10 trail, according to Onyx, like what we're about to do. And let me read the difficulty rating. So they say 7 out of 10, difficult. This is a difficult trail with very deep ruts. There are large boulders during off-camber turns and steep ledges on 2 main obstacles. You may need lockers. And they say proper tire placement is a must even with 37-inch tires, not recommended for stock SUVs. What is this?
This is a stock SUV with 33-inch tall tires.
So we're gonna push this thing to the limit. It's funny, on camera, and this always happens, already. People always look at some of the obstacles on camera that we're doing and say, I could drive my CR-V through that. But then we come here when the trail is busy and people in rock buggies say, are you guys sure you should take that up here?
What are you doing? 100%.
Seems like a bad idea.
So Case, this is our first real obstacle here. This is called Razor Rocks. Basically a huge hole with these incredibly pointy rock ledges that we have to crawl up. I'm gonna have you hop out if you don't mind.
Yep.
And kind of just walk me up this thing. And we'll see what you can do.
This is the Razor Rocks, and from some angles, it's difficult to tell just how hard of a rock obstacle this is. But if you look, the top of this rock ledge is not far off of shoulder height for me because of the rut that's immediately in front of it. So this gets us very articulated, definitely requires lockers and some pretty good traction aids as well as decent clearance. Let's see how the 4Runner does.
All right, Case, let's see how she does. Oh, before I tackle this, I want to disconnect my stabilizer bar, get some more articulation out of that front end. There we go. It's actually really easy to do. Just push the button. And we're going to try it no lockers, and I think we're going to need lockers pretty quickly here. Case is looking over my front end here. I'm going to 2-foot it up this obstacle.
Just go slow. I'll watch your front bumper. Front end's looking good.
All right, now we're going to start to
Plenty
climb
of room
on that right front. Just like that.
Nice.
This is open diffs, by the way, just the traction control. Wow, Toyota's traction control is so good. It really is amazing what it can do. And there we get that transition onto the other 2 wheels. And now it's going to be all down to ground clearance. This Trailhunter has about 10.1 inches of ground clearance.
Cruise
Is
slow.
that going to be enough?
It's close to the underside, or rubbing on the control arm mount a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, we're definitely limited on clearance. It's a little beached in the center.
It's pretty hung up. So I think, Case, if we take it, oh, that's a bad sound with the $69,000 SUV. I think if we take it more to the driver's side.
Yeah. I'll watch your rock on this side.
Yeah, let's see how we're doing on this side. There we go. Oh yeah, that was the ticket. So we did a Case, but certainly ground clearance is going to be the limiting factor today.
Definitely, but masterfully done. You drove through that with a lot of control, precision.
Look at the speed!
The speed! When you're in an off-road mode, you should turn off the parking sensors automatically.
That's a really good thing you just said. That is a Nobel Prize winning thought you just had.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go to the camera system here so we can see what our wheels are up to. This is truth and dare, so we got our left side's easy, right side's hard. Of course, we're going up the hard side.
Yeah, absolutely. And this portion is kind of the calm before the storm. Not to say that there aren't any features on this section of trail, but what we're about to get into in a moment is where it's going to get pretty serious.
Gets pretty extreme up towards the top of this. Let's see if we have the clearance for this rock on the left. Oh yeah, pretty good. Those little 33s with those Toyo Open Countries doing what they need to do.
I love that we've got as much underbody protection as we do, because ground clearance is going to be our primary difficulty for the day.
Yeah, and this is the Trailhunter version of the 4Runner. So the 4Runner lineup is huge. You've got, the base model SR5s to the luxury limiteds to the TRD Off-Road, which is the one that the company owns. But this is pretty much top dog alongside the TRD Pro.
Yeah, and this is a little bit more of the rock crawler, whereas the TRD Pro is more of a high-speed off-roader, as is the same in the Tacoma lineup. So what we're doing today is exactly in line with how this Trailhunter is designed to operate off-road.
You're exactly right. And the cool thing about this is on paper, we should have all the stuff we need. So the Trailhunter has the underbody protection, but it also has the rock rails. And the rock rails in this case are frame mounted, which I'm happy to see Toyota doing.
So it's an actually substantial piece. It's not just there for show, and that's a great thing to have on a vehicle like this from the factory.
Now we've got the sawtooth here. This is really our first major test of ground clearance, although that was back there too.
This is going to test our breakover angle.
Yeah.
And we're definitely making contact a little bit. Not too bad. And the nice thing is when we do make contact underneath, don't have to worry too much because of all the skid plating and the sliders.
And that's really, in my opinion, one of the big benefits of spending the money for a Trailhunter is that this thing should be ready to go right out of the box without having to take it to someone like Toy Tech or whoever to get it outfitted. So this is by far the scariest part of the trail. We have this incredibly aggressive ravine, and there's no way to straddle it because there's a rock ledge on the right side. So you have to go left, and then you get the car at a very extreme angle. So Case, we want to get as close to the ledge as possible without hitting it.
I'll let you know.
And this is all about control, because if you take this fast, there is a very real possibility of rolling the vehicle. We're going to have to be very controlled in how we approach this event, as the engineers would say. And it really does not feel good doing something like this. Just going to take it real slow. This is when you just have to have trust in the vehicle and also trust in the tires. Here, I'll show you what my screen's showing right now. So we've got very significant upslope, and we're pretty much maxed out on the gauge on the side slope. Here we go, come on Toyota. Let's keep this thing shiny side up. Oh, Case's spotting has gotten so good. And we just need those tires to grip and not slide us into that rock wall. And they did! These Toyo Open Countries did what we need them to do! Case, great work.
That was all you. It does lean over far though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, when you are pretty much maxing out a gauge, like they didn't even think, like no one's realistically gonna need to go this far on the gauge.
It almost gave me a bit of vertigo looking at you.
Just like
Twisted to the side, it's insane.
Okay, that was the scariest part of the trail done, but not the hardest part, because this upcoming climb is the boulder dash, and we've got a lot of big rocks we got to navigate around. So I'm going to get the vehicle positioned in front of the first obstacle, and then we're going to try to make it up.
We made it! It's hard to walk in.
It doesn't look very steep on camera, but we're nearly 30-degree up at this point.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
It is, but the 4Runner doing pretty well so far.
Yeah.
Our only limitation really has been a little bit of that clearance on some of the bigger features, and we've got some features coming up that are going to take that even further.
Yeah, this is going to get much harder toward the top here. This is an interesting trail too, because you are kind of cruising through this gully the whole time, and it's a pretty narrow trail with these unforgiving rocks on either side that limit what you can do with line choice. Now the Trailhunter, it's got this cool wide stance, right?
Yeah.
Looks great, looks cool going down the road. It's the exact opposite of what we want out on this trail.
The nice thing is that the flares that stick the furthest out on this vehicle, they are a matte plastic cladding, so it's not the kind of gloss flares like on the TRD Pro that are more likely to get pinstriped, which is good, that helps. The other thing that it has going for it is on an off-camber obstacle like what we were just going through, the width of this does give it some extra stability. So it didn't, as far as you were leaned over to one side, it didn't seem like it wanted to tip.
Oh, there we go. That was hard on the rear diff. And luckily, the Trailhunter does have an actual skid plate over that pumpkin,
Yeah,
which is a great design that Toyota has incorporated.
yeah, again, really good underbody protection here.
Yeah, and we're gonna need it coming up here. Now let's talk about this powertrain, Case. What's the horsepower and torque numbers?
So we've got the iForce Max version of the powertrain because this is a Trailhunter and it's all spec'd out. So with that hybrid system, 326 horsepower.
Oh, this is gonna be bad.
465 pound-feet of torque, and an 8-speed automatic transmission. So it's a good torquey powertrain, especially up here at altitude. Combination of the electric motor as well as the turbo means that we don't lose a ton of power at elevation. And these just drive so much more modern than the old 5th gen 4Runner. We loved how simple and durable that was, but up here at altitude, they struggled at times, especially on highways with steep grades at really high altitudes. This feels much more confident cruising up some of those steep roads.
And off-road, when you stick it in low range and you got the hybrid assistance, this has a 0.9 kilowatt hour battery. From a stop, it's this nice kind of smooth application of torque. There's no turbo lag, right? It just kind of putts up anything. This is gonna be a little gnarly.
Absolutely, we've got a decent sized ledge here.
Let's see what happens. I gotta say, I've been really impressed with the traction control system. 4Runner and Toyota in general have some of the best torque management, traction management in the business. We haven't needed a locker, but this is a really big size boulder where I'm gonna need that control. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on the rear locker.
Yeah, probably go most aggressive settings, sway bar disconnected,
Yep.
rear locker engaged, obviously 4 low.
Multi-terrain select also in the rock mode. Cool. And if we get really stuck, we don't have a front locker, but we do have the potential to use crawl control.
Yeah, we could also stack up some rocks if we need
This
to.
is like, we're gonna use my arms. We're gonna muscle out of this thing. Now this is really where that tire size recommendation from Onyx comes into play. This is a really cool trail, by the way. It's pretty short, you can do it in about an hour, but there's a lot of fun stuff to play on, and it's very close to the Denver area. It's getting harder and harder each and every year. So let's see if we can't get this 4Runner up these ledges. Rear locker engaged, actually clicked on very nicely. This front bumper has this pretty cool little cutout too, which is great for approach angle. All right. This is where you can really start to see some of that steepness come into play here.
Go slow.
We're using that front skid plate a lot with that independent front suspension. There we're using the transfer case skid plate. You can really just feel the rock all the way underneath the vehicle.
Do you have room to go driver's side a little bit?
I do.
Because if you can get your tires over this rock that's in the center.
We're gonna be in good shape, huh? All right, here we go. Oh, it sounds like the Titanic.
Might even have to go a little further down.
Okay.
All right, a little further back. Now cut hard driver.
Okay.
There you go.
Grips.
Nice, you can straighten out.
Whoa. Fully tilted on that inclinometer again. Come on, climb, 4Runner.
And as much as you can stay driver, then your back tire will walk up on that rock. Come on.
Come on, Toyota.
It might take a little bump. Your rear passenger tire is stuck in this rut, but just the tiniest bump forward and you got it.
Okay. I just want to take a quick look as well. It's just this hole right here, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and stack some more rocks. The problem is, over here, we're not going to have the approach angle, and we can't go any farther left or we'll hit the tree.
Yeah.
So we're kind of out of options.
There's no way front end is getting up that. So I think you're on the right line, but maybe the couple extra rocks will do it.
I'm not sure a front locker would help us out much, but it
might.
Certainly wouldn't hurt. We're just out of clearance. This is where you really need a bigger tire.
There you go.
Nice, Case. Woo! Hell yeah, dude. That was awesome.
Tommy did it.
Case, good spotting through that.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure all the people will say my Camry can do that. That's a pretty challenging obstacle.
It is. Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. Let's see what's next. Nice. Perfect. We got some rain coming in.
Go slow. Nice. Good.
Let's see if we can climb this.
Slow again. Yeah, a little control arm, but your back wheel is going to start to walk up.
There we go. And then we got one more ledge here. All right, and that's the top. All right, we got a couple more obstacles on the way down, but she's doing good. Ironclad's trail is a really cool trail. It's a little loop, a little lollipop. And I've done it a bunch actually, but this is by far the hardest it has ever been. And I think that this is gonna be a no-go from here on out on stock vehicles, because it's very hard to do it without any kind of trail damage, which is what we have to do with these manufactured vehicles. It's a pretty scary little obstacle here, because this is a really, really tilted area. This is really tense. Hang on, I have a better idea. Here's what I say we do. We can take some teamwork from everybody. Let's just stack a little trail here. Okay. Yeah, I think we be smart about it. Let's just put some rocks in this gully. We'll elevate it a little bit. So this is something I'm not very proud of because I don't like modifying trails, but there's no safe way to do this without getting in a pretty sketchy situation with the stock vehicle. This is why you listen to Onyx when it says don't bring a stock SUV down here. But we've created a little bed of rocks here. We're gonna snake around the tree and then remove the rocks so we leave it exactly how we found the trail. And I think that'll be a good plan, I hope. Okay, well, there's no turning back now. The whole weight of the vehicle is on a skid plate here. Yeah. Oh. Yeah! It wasn't easy or pretty, but we got her down. Case!
You got through it.
Dude, you got me down there, and there's a guy behind us who said he's going to do some different rock stacking, so he wants us to leave our rocks there, so we're not being bad stewards of the trail. He said he'd move them when he's done. So we're going to keep going down the trail, and then we're almost at the bottom. But we got one more obstacle left. Final test, the rocky descent. Now there's a lot of different lines you can take at this, harder, easier. I'm going to take a relatively easy line at this. We have, I think, really put this 4Runner through the gauntlet today and shown that, yes, it is a very capable machine with the stuff you need to really hit a trail right out of the box. So we're going to crawl this here, fully flexed out. That's where that sway bar is helping me out. Then we got to test that departure there. How are you doing, Case? You want to just make sure we don't destroy that bumper coming off the ledge there? Thank you. Come on, 4Runner. Do your worst, do your best. You want to put some rocks underneath it? Just kind of jam some underneath there. Yeah. Nice. Good rock stacking, Case. And we're down, baby! That's the Ironclad's trail. All the way done. Whoo-wee! We did it! It's not easy, but we did it. Well, I think we proved the 4Runner is tougher than a lot of folks online may say about this new gen.
Absolutely, and this is once again a trail that Onyx doesn't recommend any stock vehicles going on, but the 4Runner put up a fight and got through it with minimal
damage.
Minimal souvenirs.
The wheels have seen better days, but the truck is still in one piece, running fine, no warning lights, no leaking fluid. So we'll put a camera underneath the ground so you can see the damage report on the skid plates. But gotta say, pretty impressed with this 4Runner. And as always, it's been Tommy.
And Case.
Head over to oldtfl.com. We'll see you next time.
There's no road, we build a road.
Just like the olden days. That sounds awesome.
Most annoying coworker.
Not by far.
Really?
I think I'm my most annoying coworker, Case.
Yeah, that's okay. I could leave it like this, I think.
Case, give me your best southern drawl.
Southern drawl? You want me to talk southern? Why? You can bleach them.
We're out here in the Colorado Rockies. We have a time limit, and the goal is to run as many trails as possible and use the Onyx off-road difficulty rating as points. The person with the most points wins the day. Go! Go! Yes!
The idea is you go quick enough so that there's a bow wave in front of the car so it doesn't go over the hood, so you push the water out of the way so you don't suck it up into the engine.
But what if you don't know how deep it is? It goes over your hood and it drowns the engine.
No, it doesn't go over your hood if you go the right speed, so you're pushing it out of the way.
I want to take care of this Subaru because I don't want it to break down, so I'm trying to look after the motor, make sure that it's up to temperature. Watch that. Oh my God! Check engine light came on. We waterlogged it!
Will it crank?